Yo, what's good with y'all family? How y'all doing? This is Mario Matthews, owner and operator of Ministerial Dawn Productions, and author of the book Dream No More, Rise of a Lion. Dream No More, Rise of a Lion is a sci-fi fantasy coming of age epic tale featuring Lion, a young boy who is torn from his family due to a civil war. He's taken in, nursed back to health by a host family, and he finds out that not only has he been displaced from his home country, but his family is captured by a sorceress. So now they're on a quest to retrace their steps back to where they found him in order to unravel the mystery and to help hone his skills for the journey ahead to save his family. Dream No More Rise of a Lion is family friendly, no curse words, mild violence due to teaching martial arts, hunting, fishing, and teaching family values. All of this stuff is in this book. Please join me in celebrating this book. You can purchase it at Amazon.com and Lulu.com. Amazon, you get the paperback and the ebook. Lulu, you can get this hardback. Dream No More Rise of a Lion in stores now. Man, family, we got some stuff to talk about, man. Look, we got some stuff to talk about. All right. So, over the course of like 48 hours last weekend that just passed, feel me? We've had about 4 shootings, most of which was mass shootings that were perpetrated by alleged white supremacist terrorism. We had many people die, some non-black people, some black people. And we have been talking about this, and we have been sounding the alarm here in the space of new black media for a very long time. We have been attempting to bring to light the sheer amount of hatred and destitution that these people wishes to impose upon black people and non-white people, to be clear. However, at the end of the day, we know who their main targets are. Black people that are the descendants of American slavery, and they want to keep things the way that it is, because this ever so fleeting way of life is slowly slipping away as the day goes by. However, that also makes the ones who have been benefiting the most from this fleeting way of life ever so dangerous as it flows through our hands. White supremacists across the country have sworn their allegiance to the system of white supremacy, and as of recently declared a Rahowa on the rest of the country that do not subscribe to the ideology of white supremacy. Now, what is a Rahowa? In the well-known Hidden Colors documentary by historian Tariq Nasheed, he has uncovered many different topics and secrets about white supremacists And one of these things he described in his documentaries is a Rahowa. Now, a Rahowa is essentially, it is a holy war. A holy war. However, it is not holy in the sense of that which is pure and just, but holy in a very twisted, illogical, delusional form of psychosis that is bred into the very fiber of the beings of those people who have pledged their allegiance to the system of white supremacy. Make no mistake that this is not a mental illness. This is not the problem of guns. This is not the product of a troubled past or anything like that. These are people who are essentially the foot soldiers of white supremacist terrorism. It is a scourge upon the world that must be dealt with all due prejudice. The people that have been affected by these disgusting acts of white supremacist terrorism are traitors to the American Constitution for all intents and purposes. However, we have elements within law enforcement that have been infiltrated by the same white supremacist terrorism. The FBI did a report over a decade ago, releasing information to the public that lets us know that law enforcement across the U.S. have been infiltrated by white supremacist terrorism. And now here we are paying the price decades later. However, Black Americans that are the descendants of slavery, we already knew what the original function of police officials in this country, despite our contributions to their salary in the form of our tax dollars. We are American citizens, yet we do not enjoy the fruits of our labor as it has been stolen from our ancestors and kept in a safe in the coffers of public and private sector institutions who have profited from slavery and barring our families from inheriting the fruits of our ancestors' labor. With the race riots, the black codes, Jim Crow, the stealing and the thievery from those who would pledge their allegiance to the system of white supremacy, and to those who would deflect and deny us our birthright as the descendants of American slavery. We have essentially been placed in a position where we're on a road to zero wealth by the median in the year 2055. Black Americans that are the descendants of American slavery are in a very dangerous time in history where we are defenseless and we are easily victimized. Due to the inherited cost of being black in a system of racism, white supremacy. Yet if you hear political chatter recently, you will swear that we have allies who are non-black and understand our plight. Yet in the same vein, they offer no solutions despite shedding their tears and showing their sympathy. I'd like to share with y'all a tweet from Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She says there's a difference between white supremacy and white supremacist. White supremacy is like a virus. Supremacists are those who have been completely overcome by the disease, but supremacy, the virus, exists on a larger scale beyond just the infected. It also lays dormant. White supremacy is often subconscious, and clearly our nation has not been inoculated. White supremacy is our nation's original sin, the driving logic of slavery, of native genocide, of Jim Crow, segregation, of mass incarceration, of send her back. It never went away. It was just dormant. Now, I don't know where Miss Ocasio-Cortez has been in the last 400 years, but to black Americans that are the descendants of slavery, there's no such thing as a dormant white supremacy. Likewise, there is no such thing as a difference within the term white supremacy and white supremacist. They are self-explanatory. These are people who will do anything in their power to make sure that white is on the top of a racial pyramid scheme within any given social society. Those people who are classified as right or white, regardless of their ideologies, their political organizations, their job, their class, anything that is white in any given society should be placed at the top of any hierarchy. And conversely, anything that is classified as black should be placed at the bottom of the society in a perpetual caste system where they are a perpetual exploited group. All of the dysfunction, all of the destitution, all of the poverty, the pain, the suffering, all that which the dominant society would discard from their hateful hearts will be placed in the bottom of the caste system and embedded in black communities. There is no need to redefine terms that are already clearly defined. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read all the tweets in regard to this, but I will say this. She offered no solutions to this problem. She offered no penalties to white supremacist terrorists. She offered no reparations to the black descendants of American slavery. Just talk. Just more talk. For the last 400 years, talk. Well, I'm here to tell you, Ms. Cortez, talk is cheap. Either we're here to do business politics or we're not here to do anything. We don't have any words for you. Don't give us your sympathy. We ain't in no alliance. And as far as we're concerned, you ain't our representative. Unless you come to the table with something, we don't got nothing to talk about. Unless you create a policy that is based upon punishing white supremacist terrorism with as much prejudice as they show their victims, and until you create policy that addresses the systematic suppression, oppression, and destitution of the descendants of American slavery, specifically, unless you create policy that fixes those fundamental problems, I ain't got nothing for you. Please like, please share, please subscribe to this video. If you like, please join my Patreon. We have Patreon. The link will be in the description below. Much love and respect to y'all, man. Y'all be cool. And y'all please take care of y'all families out here, man. It's getting real. I love y'all. Peace. Everlast.